Davis from Rainforest here, and I want to make a quick video showing how to find the top sites in your given niche to find people to review your product using Alexa, because it's not totally obvious, and here's why. Alexa is primarily sort of focused on entering a site and getting a bunch of data on that site. So like I could go here and write CNN.com and get a bunch of data about where the traffic comes from, etc. And that's not what you want to do right now, right? What we want to use Alexa for is to find lists of sites in a given category, specifically blogs, so we can ask them to review our awesome product. So what you actually want to do, and I want to go through a couple examples because it's not totally intuitive, and going through these examples will save you a bunch of time from browsing around and looking at help and Googling to find the answer. So one is we'll go through some sports examples, soccer and climbing, and then we'll do something outside of that. If you have a product and something related not around sports, and it's not even a physical product, say personal finance and home-based products. What if you're have an organization type product and things like that? So we'll find how to find that. So okay, everything is going to start from browse top sites. So instead of entering a site here or entering a site here, don't enter a category here. Go instead to browse top sites. This is where the action is going to happen. And initially, you're just going to get the top 500 sites of the web, which is completely useless to what we're trying to do. But what we want is to dig into their various categories. So we'll go by category. And even though you have to browse by category on Alexa instead of search, it's actually kind of useful because they've ranked a lot of different categories. So this is the start of the category area, and we'll look here and see that there, you got to be a little bit savvy at navigating. So I want to show you these examples. So the first example, like I mentioned, is going to be soccer, right? Just like in the blog post. So in soccer, obviously, what comes to mind is sports, and you'd be right. So we go to sports, and there are a ton of sports. And then to get to soccer is obviously listed as one of them, so we can get there. But there's a whole bunch of non-intuitive things, right? So you want to expand, a key thing is you want to expand your horizons and think, if I have some sort of product, for example, what if I have a product that's not sports specific? Where would I go to find people to review it? What if I have a water bottle or some sort of sports shirt, right? You could go into sort of, clothing and things like that. But what you want to do instead is think, can I get to very specific applications of it? What if my, outdoor recreational sports product had to do with something that anyone that you could use in a backyard? I could look at things like bocce. There are 16 top sites in bocce, right? People that play basketball anywhere could use water bottles, quick drying shirts, etc. So you can get really, into specific niches while still marketing general products. And Alexa is great at that. So soccer, obviously, if we click on soccer, you're going to get the top soccer sites. But even within that, you can get out of all like the soccer media sites, right? Like look at these top ones, premierleague.com. That's not going to help you if you're trying to market some soccer equipment. So what you want to go through is maybe soccer coaching. These people can access a lot of people. Very specific things like beach soccer, indoor soccer, right? Youth soccer, there's only one nonetheless. So you can look carefully at this and think, where would I find blogs about soccer that would be up for evaluating some sort of, soccer-based product, right? Not like premierleague.com. So that's that. Now let's go back to sports and look at my other example I mentioned, rock climbing. Where would I find that? I'm looking here, and you're looking, well, there's no rock climbing under R. Then you're looking, well, there's no climbing here. So Alexa has this weird thing for certain sports where some of them are under recreation. So we're going back to the top, just the category page. So look, not under sports, but under recreation. And here you have a category for climbing, lo and behold. And you also have things that are sort of on the borderline between sports and recreation. So birding, boating, hunting, guns, right? Things like that. So you can, and then in addition to other things like food, you might consider food under home, motorcycle, right? If you were looking at things, you might think, motorcycle, sports, etc. So when you're at the top categories part, sometimes if you don't see it where you think you're going to find it, look somewhere else. So in recreation, we can go to climbing. And then here, there's not just one category in climbing. It's actually pretty detailed. There's 12 rock climbing. But if you have a climbing product, if you have a harness or something, a better shoes, etc., you can look at mountaineering, indoor climbing, climbing schools. There's a ton of places to approach. And on Alexa, when you go to one of them, you can see where they rank, right, in the world. So that's those two. Now let's look at some esoteric, sort of non-sports, non-physical product. What if we have a personal finance product? What if we're marketing a site, right? If you have some sort of competition to mint.com, a site that can organize your finances, or something that's sort of a non-physical product like that, where would we find that? So you might think personal finance is in business. So you could go down the business track. And I don't want to belabor this, but it's not here, right? You could go in financial services. That's the best place to find it. But if you go to financial services, I found it's mostly just sort of like corporate services, financial planning, et cetera, venture capital. That's not what we're interested in. So similar to the rock climbing example, you should look under home for some of these categories that sort of regular people use my product. Where would I find them, right? These top things. So here we have personal finance, 692. And here there's even more subcategories, right? So if we have an investing type product, maybe a site that gives us, gives good investing advice and you want to get the word out. Or anything else, some sort of software product, you can look on here. And you see, if you scroll down, you see a whole bunch of sort of high-end, high-level news sites that's probably not going to be best. Like you don't want to pitch your product to finance.yahoo unless you know someone in Yahoo Finance, similar with MarketWatch, CNN. But if you scroll down, you start to get some that actually will review some products, right? When you get down Kiplinger, it's possible, right? Again, it's sort of a higher end, well-known magazine. But if you get down, you get to things like I Will Teach You to Be Rich, Get Rich Slowly. And if you look at some of these sites, youneedabudget.com, right? These are actual blogs run by, a person or a team or started by one person that do at times, review your product. So, look carefully at those and you should be on your way. So that's basically the crux of it. If you go to all categories on Alexa, you should be able to find your way into a ton of sites. But the key principle is expand your horizons and think, what sort of people would be benefiting from this beyond just my super niche? And you should be able to find a bunch of sites to pitch your product review for.